I'm Stella, a 28-year-old marine biologist. The ocean has always been my passion, and night dives off the coast of Monterey, California are my favorite. This particular night dive was supposed to be like any other, but it turned into a nightmare I could never have imagined. The water was calm as I descended into the dark depths. My flashlight cut through the blackness, revealing the ghostly outline of a shipwreck I'd been studying. The eerie silence was only broken by the sound of my own breathing through the regulator. I felt a mix of excitement and trepidation as I approached the wreck. Suddenly, I saw movement within the wreckage. Something large and fast darted through the beams of my flashlight. My pulse quickened. Could it be a new species? I wondered, the thrill of discovery pushing me forward. I swam closer, my eyes straining to see through the murky water. Without warning, a massive shadow enveloped me. I felt a strong current pull me deeper into the wreck. Panic surged as I struggled to break free, but the force was too strong. I was sucked into a narrow passage, my oxygen tank scraping against the rusted metal. What's happening? I thought, my mind racing. The walls of the passage closed in, making it hard to move. My oxygen tank was running low, and I knew I had to get out quickly. I kicked and twisted, trying to free myself, but it felt like an invisible hand was holding me down. Is this the end? I asked myself, fear tightening its grip on my heart. Just as I thought I might black out, the current released me, and I was able to swim upwards. Relief washed over me as I saw the open water above. But my relief was short-lived. As I turned to check my surroundings, my flashlight caught a pair of glowing eyes staring back at me from the darkness. My heart pounded in my chest, and I felt a scream rising in my throat. Who? What are you? I whispered, my voice lost in the vast expanse of water. The eyes moved closer, and I saw the outline of a massive, hulking creature. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen, its body covered in scales that shimmered in the faint light. Why is it here? How could something like this exist? My mind raced with questions, but there were no answers. The creature's eyes bore into me, filled with a malevolent intelligence. I knew I had to get out of there before it was too late. I turned and swam as fast as I could, my muscles burning with effort. The creature followed, its movements slow and deliberate, as if it knew I had nowhere to go. The shipwreck loomed ahead, a twisted maze of metal and shadows. I hoped I could lose it in the wreckage, but the narrow passages seemed to close in around me. Where can I hide? I thought desperately, searching for a place to take refuge. I found a small crevice and squeezed inside, my body trembling with fear. I turned off my flashlight, hoping the darkness would conceal me. Minutes passed like hours. I could hear the creature's heavy breathing and the sound of its scales scraping against the metal. My heart pounded in my ears, and I struggled to control my breathing. The creature's glowing eyes scanned the wreckage, searching for me. Will it find me? The question echoed in my mind, the answer too terrifying to contemplate. I held my breath as the creature moved closer, its eyes passing over my hiding place. Just when I thought I might be safe, the creature stopped. It turned its head, and our eyes locked once again. My blood ran cold as it let out a low, guttural growl. It knew I was there. I had no choice. I had to move. I burst from my hiding place, swimming with every ounce of strength I had left. The creature lunged after me, its massive jaws snapping inches from my fins. My lungs burned for air, and I knew I couldn't keep this up much longer. In a last desperate effort, I spotted a narrow gap in the wreckage, just big enough for me to squeeze through. I darted inside, the metal scraping my skin as I forced my way through. The creature roared in frustration, unable to follow. I swam upwards, my vision darkening at the edges. I broke the surface, gasping for air, the cold night air filling my lungs. I looked back at the dark water, half expecting the creature to burst forth. But the surface remained calm, hiding the terror beneath. I made my way back to the boat, my body shaking with exhaustion and fear. As I climbed aboard, I couldn't shake the feeling that those glowing eyes were still watching me from the depths. I'll never forget that night. The ocean, once my sanctuary, had revealed its darkest secret, and I knew I'd never dive alone again.